Welcome to the Learning Reinvented Podcast, brought to you by myself, Katie Godden.
And James Politilo from The Learning Effect. There are lots of learning podcasts out there, so we wanted to do something slightly different. This week, we'll be sharing a project that we're launching in 2024 and will bring a new string to our bow at The Learning Effect and allow us to add value to even more businesses and learning professionals across the UK and the rest of the world. Katie, do you want to share with our listeners a little bit about what we've been working on?
Yeah, so I think we spoke about this initially when we set up the Learning Effect anyway, and it's always something that we had as a goal in the background, and that's come to light a little bit more in the past few months where we've been able to really kind of look into this as a project. So we're launching a series of masterclasses that are aimed at learning professionals. To help learning professionals. So we realize that we do lots of things when we're helping our clients. We really understand like the purpose, and we can help guide them through different projects, etc. So we've decided to package that up essentially, and help customers or individuals that are in learning departments doing parts of those projects. So things that you're not doing every day that you might not be familiar with, you might be new to, etc. We package those up and we're going to be launching those in 2024.
Yeah, and I think what we've tried to do is bottle down our expertise and the very practical support that we offer to teams. So this is not some more of the learning that you'll see out there, which is what you should be doing. This is into the how you make this work in your business, because that's why people come to us. They come to us because they want to make a new bit of learning tech work in their business. They want to practically change their learning strategy. They want to restructure their team. They want to get better at evaluation of the impact of learning, or totally relook at their learning offer. So we've tried to package, as you said, each of those things that we do with clients and put them into accessible modules that someone can start with and walk out at the end of a 3-hour session with a plan they can take away and enact. And obviously, if they need further support, they can let us know. But this is certainly not having to have a full consultancy model, but being able to tap into our expertise in a totally different way.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really good summary there, James, of what we are going to launch next year. So who do you think the courses are aimed at?
We've tried to design them in such a way that they will be accessible to a couple of different audiences. And we've done that in a very purposeful fashion. So the first audience is that person who's leading a learning function, and that could be a really large learning function, or they could be the one person who's leading their own learning function, which is themselves. And the topics allow those people to come in and pick up and personalize that content to their own context. So that could be reviewing your learning strategy if you're in a large global or multinational or even a national based organization, or it could be looking at a learning strategy for the first time if you've never had one in a business. So we've tried to do that around each of the topics. I think the other thing that this is accessible to is those people who are maybe in larger learning teams and managing a sub function within a learning team as well, or even a more junior member of staff who may be given something as a project, such as managing the RFP of a learning system or bringing in a new supplier. So we've tried to bottle those that they can be applicable to whoever's picking that up in the role. And I think the last audience is those people who are aspiring leaders of learning teams in the future. So often you don't really know what the job entails until you get there. So as this is modular and bite-sized, effectively, you can pick up components that can help you get ready for that role. And then as and when you need other components or they become necessary to your role, you can dial in and pick up those components as well.
Yeah, I think I can really resonate with why we're doing this as well, because I've been through lots of different roles throughout my career prior to the Learning Effect. And I know where I've started projects and it's been around things that I've never done before. So, for example, running an RFP, I'd never done that before and I wasn't entirely sure what that entails. So I think having a course like that we're creating to provide you with that confidence prior to going into that project, I think will boost people's confidence and then be more successful in that project going forward.
I think we've designed them as well in such a way that they allow you to get up and do something very practical. So you're not going to find loads of theory. What you're going to find is models that are used practically, applied to real work situations. So you're tapping into our combined getting on for 50 years of work experience, but boiled down into things that you can pick up and apply. So they will be short, sharp instances, and they're also very different to generic learning you might pick up in particular areas. So we've got aspects around change management and project management, or even RSPs, as you've talked about before. All of those are very specifically dialed into a learning context within an organization. So you're not going to have to do a load of translation or cut through some very generic stuff. You're going to be straight down into something that is targeted to the use case that you have in your business.
Yeah, and I think, again, we're going to provide tools as well to people, so that as well as the practical scenario-based training, it will also be the tools that you're able to walk away with as well. So you can, again, go into that with the confidence and the things that you actually need.
So how should people get in touch with us or find out more about the masterclasses?
So we'll be heavily promoting this on LinkedIn and Instagram. So keep an eye out on our social media pages, and you'll find links to a dedicated webpage that we've created for this. So you'll find out more about the masterclasses, when they take place, and you'll be able to book onto them via that page as well. You can also contact James and I directly. So you can find us on LinkedIn and message us. And we've also got contact details on our website, etc. So get in touch.
Absolutely. And we're looking forward to engaging with people, have people attend those masterclasses, and to help have a wider impact beyond our existing clients and new clients, but with a wider range of people in 2024. As we know, not everyone wants to bring in a set of consultants, but people do need help in these areas, because we just assume as learning professionals that you should be able to go in and pick up an RFP from scratch, or you should be able to buy your first learning system and know exactly what you should do. And even if you are buying learning systems, you probably only do it every 3 to 5 years anyway. So it's not a core native skill to learning people. So these are the things that actually you probably should be asking for help and support. And I know as a learning professional, often we're the worst at developing ourselves and taking time out for us. So make sure you've got built into your learning budgets a bit of money for you to invest in your development and in the progression of your career and function.
Yes, definitely. And I think we look forward to speaking to our existing customers and our new customers going into 2024.
And this will be our last podcast of 2023. So wishing everyone a good new year, and our next episode will be out early January.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Learning Reinvented podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. If you've not already done so, please follow our podcast. And if the Learning Effect can help you and your organisation, please do get in touch. You can find both James and Katie on LinkedIn, and our contact details are in the show notes below.